and welcome to the Friday episode of Stop Chasing Skinny, just a bite-sized bit of information. This Friday, we are talking about our 5-year anniversary with SKFitLife. It's been crazy. Can you believe 5 years? I mean, I know it's hard for me to believe. Most businesses fail within the first 1 or 2 years. I can't remember what the statistic is. So to make it to 5 is really awesome. And it's because of people like you. I obviously couldn't do this without my clients, my listeners, and all of that great support. So I wanted to talk about some of the changes that are being made to the SKFitLife Challenge now that we've reached 5 years. Over these years, it has just gotten better and better and better. We've taken all of the lessons that we've been learning along the way and incorporated them into this program to make it more user-friendly for you and to deliver it in a way that is most effective for you. So what we figured out was that a weekly email with all of the information was something that you guys really wanted and needed. So that is one of the new features for the SKFitLife Challenge. For every single week, for all 12 weeks, you will get all of the information delivered to you. And so within that email, it's not just an email, it's the lessons that I've created via video. It's the training links just in case you needed to download those again. It's extra recipes just for fun. And I think more importantly, it's all of these other lessons that we have learned during this time and figured out what people are thinking about week by week as they go through the challenge. So I'm going to break these lessons down for you. So the very first one, when you sign up for the 12-week challenge, you get your welcome email. It has everything you need to know to get started. You can get started immediately. And then on the very first Sunday after you've signed up, then you get your week 1 information. Now, you'll always have access to the training from the time that you sign up, but the weekly emails start coming to you on a Sunday, and they come every Sunday. And I'm not the biggest fan of starting on Mondays because I think any day is a great day to start. But what we found from statistics and our research is that most people like to start on a Monday. So week 1 comes into your inbox on Sunday so that you can go through the information. You can watch the video. If you're looking for extra recipes that are not already included in the meal plan, the 30-day meal plan, then you can add those recipes in there. And there's really great exercises for goal setting, things like that, as well as stories. So success stories from our previous clients, kind of what they were thinking about, maybe some of their stumbling blocks and how they were able to overcome it and ended up successful in the end. So week 1, we really dive into nutrition. We found that week 1, people a lot of times have more nutrition questions than anything else. So we really get into nutrition. We talk about what is clean eating, which things are clean, which foods to kind of eliminate or avoid or have less of, things like that. So we really get into the whole nutrition piece for week 1. Week 2 is dedicated to training. Now, people have been training for week 1. That also creates more questions that come up for week 2 because you don't really know which questions you're going to have until you try it out. So week 2, we dedicate to training, answering all of those frequently asked questions about the training. So week 3, we talk about visualizing your success. Now, some people enter this challenge with a very clear picture, but most people don't. And so we work on visualizing success, and we have exercises to help do that. Weeks number 4 and 5, they are so extensive in the topic of just keep going that we've included that for 2 weeks. So what we've found is that people are very excited in the beginning. Yay, week 1. Yay, week 2. Okay, I'm excited about my goals for week 3. And something happens around week 4, 5, and 6. And we don't know why. But people start to kind of lose that beginner enthusiasm. I think part of it is our natural environment these days where we have instant gratification. We might have an image in our heads of what our bodies should be doing based on other people's before and after pictures, which you never know what they did to those to sell whatever they're selling. So we really focus on the mental toughness and the just keep going. And this is going to benefit you not only in the 12 weeks, but it will benefit you for the rest of your life. Those are the kinds of lessons that we include here. Week 6, we talk about rest, recovery, and adrenal health, because at week 6, people are either seeing results or they're not. Now, there could be some reasons, some underlying reasons why people are not seeing results, and that's what we address for week 6. It could be that your adrenals are just tapped out. It could be that maybe you were over dieting before you started doing this, and so there is nowhere for your body to go at that point. So we talk about those things, when to increase your calorie intake, when to increase your cardio, decrease your cardio, increase your sleep. We cover all of that in week 6. Week 7 is goal setting revisited. Again, this is because some people are seeing results and some people's results are now showing up. Yes, it could take 7 weeks for things to show up. I had a client that didn't really see much for her results until after week 8. But between week 8 and week 12 was phenomenal. She ended up losing 20 pounds in those 12 weeks. So this goal setting revisited could either mean that we are readjusting our goals, or we're getting clearer on our goals, or maybe the original goals that we had just don't really apply anymore. We've already achieved them, something like that. So we revisit the goal setting. Week 8 is dedicated to diving deeper into nutrition. In the beginning, a lot of people are really trying to just get their nutrition in check, under control. Everybody starts in a different place, and so there could be a huge learning curve in nutrition in the beginning. And as we all know, nutrition can get very complicated very quickly. So we save the diving deeper into nutrition until about week 8. This also gives people a little bit of an edge. Maybe they've cleaned up their nutrition and now they want to focus a little more on their portions and their timing of their food. And now at this point, most people have been logging enough of their food log and their activities to kind of get a better feel for how they're feeling in their own bodies. So we talk about this in week 8. So week 9, we talk about, can you see the finish line and taste the victory? Because we're getting so close to the end. So a lot of times people are like, okay, well, what can I do for these last 3 weeks to really notch it up a bit? Some people think they should just go run more. Some people think they should eat less. I wouldn't recommend that for either one typically, but that's where we assess this. So maybe that is the thing that you have to change. Maybe you have been letting too many cheats and treats slide in that are completely negating your workout. We cover that in week 9. Week number 10 is dedicated to impacting lives and being the change that you want to see in the world. So a lot of people, when they're making a lifestyle change, they've also discovered that a lot of people are not making a lifestyle change. So it helps to kind of navigate through that. Maybe some of the barriers that we run into whenever we're trying to make a change and other people around us maybe aren't quite as comfortable about that or comfortable with that. And on the flip side, on the positive side, it's great to see and to acknowledge how we have been impacting people in our lives. For example, when I worked in an office, these guys that I worked with, they would make fun of me all the time about my rabbit food, this and that. And what I noticed was about 6 months after I started working there, when they were making fun of me, they started checking in with me to tell me, hey, guess what? I ate breakfast today. So it was great because I didn't tell them they had to do anything. They just started seeing me do it and they wanted to do it as well. So we cover that in week 10. Week number 11 is talking about how we can transfer our fitness success into life goal success. So a lot of people have been incorporating great habits at this point. You've seen success. You see that your work is paying off. And so we talk about how you can improve other areas of your life. A lot of personal development books out there will tell you if you can improve on one area of your life, it will by default help to improve the other areas of your life. So we take a closer look at that to see how that can help to improve your relationships, your career, parenting. It can really have this ripple effect through the rest of your life. So we pay attention to that. And then week 12, we have the finale. So we talk about what it took to get through this, kind of reflect on the whole experience. We want you to be able to continue this throughout your life. And these are lessons that we want you to be doing down the road. So we also talk about what's next. So what is next as far as training options and coaching options and things like that. So that is the 12-week challenge curriculum that we go through. And like I said, it just keeps getting better and better each year. The other thing that we've added to this program is for anybody who is a new member to the SKFitLife Challenge will get a 60-minute phone call with me once each month for those first 3 months. So once every 4 weeks. I think that is really crucial because there are a lot of things that people maybe don't want to ask in the private Facebook group, but once you start talking to somebody, those questions will come up. And there's a lot of things that I can assess with you as you're discussing things. And one of these examples is a consulting call that I had where a woman was trying to get rid of the tracking macros lifestyle that she had had for literally years. She didn't trust herself to be able to eat on her own. She tracked these macros and she said, well, how can I get away from this? So after our discussion, what it came down to, I said, well, when do you feel the need to track these? And she said, well, it's when I see my friends who do competitive fitness stuff on Facebook. And I was like, well, then just block those people so that you don't have to see it. There's a way to hide their news feed and it's totally fine. If something like that triggers you, then you shouldn't expose yourself to it. It's not motivation at that point. So these are some of the things that come up in these phone calls. They're incredibly valuable because literally she's tried like every single direction to try to figure out how she can kick this habit of feeling compelled to track her macronutrients. The monthly SK Fit Girls program is changing just a little bit too. We are incorporating 20-minute phone calls each month for members. So again, we can kind of uncover some of these things that might be stumbling blocks for you that you might not figure out on your own. And it's just through a fun conversation once a month, 20 minutes, for all members. So the other part that is changing here, I mentioned it before, I announced it before, Stephen and I are engaged, so my name will be changing. And so SK Fit Life now stands for Sun-Kissed Fit Life. And it can always be found at skfitlife.com as well. But now you can look under Sun-Kissed Fit Life. So we're making that change too. Super, super exciting. The other thing that is changing here is the pricing. The pricing just has to change. I have had numerous consultants consult on this and everything points to everything. The price absolutely must change. So for the 12-week SK Fit Life Challenge, I am offering the same rate, $227 for all 12 weeks, just until January 9th. That's it. As soon as it turns January 9th, it's done. So January 8th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, since I'm over here, $227. The monthly membership is also changing. It is currently $54 a month if you continue on after the 12-week challenge. That will be changing to $97 a month. That change also takes place January 9th. As of January 9th, that changes. So if you want to get back in on that, if you were a previous member and you want to sign back up, we can do it at the $57 rate because $57 is if you come back, $54 is the discount if you continued on. So if you decide to come back, $57 a month. If you join after January 9th, it's going to be $97 a month. This also applies to anybody who registers for the 12-week SK Fit Life Challenge before the end of January 8th. You will be grandfathered in at the $54 a month rate if you choose to continue on after the 12 weeks are over, but only until that date. After that date, it's $97 a month, after the 12 weeks, which the 12 weeks are going up to $697 for the 12 weeks. It's still a gigantic savings compared to an in-person trainer 3 to 4 days a week. So if you've been on the fence, or if you know somebody who's been on the fence, please don't miss out on this. I hate doing these salesy things, but seriously, everything really has to change. So if you do sign up before January 9th, and you get the original rate, you will still get the 3 phone calls in the month for the challenge. And obviously, if you're a monthly member, you will get the monthly phone call with me as a part of your membership. So I think that's all that's changing at the moment. It's all for the better. So that's the message for this Friday. If you've been on the fence, jump in. It's totally the time. And it'll set you up for not just a great year, but really a great life. Personal development is infused throughout this whole program. It's not just about the abs and the glutes, although you will come away with some really amazing abs and glutes if you stick to a program and consistency. But it really is, how do you apply the successes that you can have in fitness to all of the other areas of your life? Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. When we're happy in life, we can be happy in our fitness. When we're happy in our fitness, we're happy in our life. It's not just a one-sided thing. We take a very holistic approach to this because, as my tagline says, I spent many years chasing skinny. All right, I hope you have a great one. Talk to you next week.